Good afternoon, this is vk3sl and welcome to the missions. We're back again. Yes, things endure. I've been working hard at the problem and you're probably sick of hearing about the problem, but we've had some major issues to contend with and I've realigned things and I'm hopeful. I'm keeping my fingers crossed. I've done some tests and touch wood. And I want Mr. Murphy to block his ears because we are trying to forge a pathway here and new realignments, and let's hope it bears fruit. But if this time, if it drops off for good because I have no way to wiggle the wire. Such is. All right then, well, let's see what we can try and do. What's on the smorgasbord? We have a record of Jack Payne and the orchestra to kickstart for today. And I just need to get myself sorted here. I think we are ready to go. It's a British Imperial record, actually. It's a record I brought back from London years ago. I brought back a pile of 78s from London, including this one. Unfortunately, it's cracked, but it's okay. It's a recording of Let's All Sing Like the Birdies Sing. This is vk3sl testing.
This is the national program. We are now taking you over in an effort to hear the Nightingale, and we are
listening
sure...
to Jack Payne and his band. The number we're going to play to you is one
We'll
called...
probably hear the Nightingale, and it's a lovely
The next
night.
number will be...
The Nightingale
entitled...
will sing...
Just a minute. What are all you fellas doing? What's going wrong? Are the wires crossed or something, or has somebody pressed button A?
I'm sorry, Mr. Payne, but you know, we never know when the Nightingale is going to sing. We can't give any notice.
No, but I shall give notice if this sort of thing goes on. You and your Nightingale. What are you trying to do? Give me the bird?
No, but the public do like to hear the Nightingale sing, and it's a lovely night
Why
tonight.
hear it now? Can't they wait until they hear it sing in its bath?
Dash it all, this isn't cricket.
I'm not talking cricket. I'm Jack Payne, not Jack Hobbs.
Oh, my Nightingale, and it's a lovely night
My
tonight.
band, and it's a lovely band. There you are. I've got it from you now. What is all this?
There, that's the bird. Isn't it wonderful?
Yes, it certainly can sing.
Oh, it's gone, and it's a lovely night tonight.
Never mind, don't be disappointed. I've an idea. We'll sing like the birdies sing. How's that?
Oh, that's fine.
Now, boys, ready? 3 on a bow, I mean 3 in a bar.
Some folks sing opera, some folks sing flat, some sing like sawing wood, I'm one like that. But when the dicky birds sing in the trees, I feel we ought to try and sing like these. Let's all sing like the birdies sing. Tweet, 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 tweet. Let's all sing like the birdies sing. Sweet, 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 sweet. Let's all warble like nightingales. Give your throats a treat. Take your time from the birds. Now you all know the words. Tweet, 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 tweet. Well, I think we got through that like a bird.
Well, you needn't crow about it.
You don't mean that. That's only your lark.
No, I really think there's something wrong with your throttle.
Oh, you do you? You don't expect me to swallow that?
Don't you think there's any difference between your note and the canary?
I think there's very little in it.
Well, your voice has settled one thing for me anyway.
What's that?
Now I've heard you sing, I know what killed Cock Robin.
Oh, yeah?
There we have it. That was the Jack Payne. Jack Payne in the arse, really, when you hear that. It's not exactly... yeah, a bit wet. Never mind. we will persevere. We'll find something else from the pile. As always, I'm just extracting random piles or random records off the shelf for test purposes. And a reminder that these are tone tests on 160, and I refer you to the online service, the live stream on YouTube, should you wish to be entertained. Go and have a listen. It's all happening there and simultaneously on the Broadwave streaming service too. So that's the go-to place. That's the primary service. On-air tests are secondary, but still important. Because, I value having the opportunity to be able to play, to work on 160. But there are big question marks over the arrangements at the moment, especially the longevity of it. It's intermittent at best. All right, let's continue now. Turntable 2 is fired up, rearing to go. And another record from a little earlier. This is Abe Lyman and his orchestra, record from the late 1920s. And, Abe Lyman always had a very lively ensemble. Good musicians, good ensemble, good verve. And I reckon we'll kick off now with Here We Are, having lots of fun. vk3sl testing.
I know people just live but once, and here's a man that's having lots of fun. Things that I don't know about can't be worthwhile finding out, 'cause I believe I'm having lots of fun. Never had a lady friend attempt to turn me down. Always spend my money in the hottest place in town. So on my tombstone have applied, here lies a man that's satisfied, 'cause I believe in having lots of fun.
Abe Lyman and the orchestra, a recording from the late 1920s. vk3sl test missions on 160 and streaming online. Sampling 78's authentic presentations here, where we cut to the source. And that's the object of it, really, is to explore the collection here and use vintage equipment. It's the veritable time machine. All right, another one from the shelf is the All-Star Orchestra from 1928. I presume it's Nat Shulkrit and a group of A&R musicians for Victor and also other rope-ins. I think it's just sort of a pickup scratch group. Probably has some excellent talent in this orchestra. But what we will do is sample this now. It's A Rainbow Around My Shoulder, a song made famous by Al Jolson. What we need to do is do a restart because I didn't switch in the right turntable. We can try this now. Here we go. The All-Star Orchestra, a recording made in about 1928 on HMV. Probably Nat Shulkrit was the leader of that group. He had the house band at Victor in that period. We might flip the disc, I think. Have a see what's on the other side. Let's have a look. Is there any other information? Yes, she didn't say yes. She didn't say no. She only said maybe. Johnny Marvin, vocals, vk3sl. So I presume it's about 1928-ish. Let's have a listen. vk3sl testing.
She didn't say yes, she didn't say no, she only said maybe. No wonder I'm blue, or what'll I do? She's driving me crazy. Whenever I ask her if she'll marry me, she just hesitates, wants me to wait. She loves to aggravate. She didn't say yes, she didn't say no, she only said maybe. But you can just bet I'll never forget this heartbreaking baby. I asked her to pet like others I've met, how happy we'll be. She didn't say yes and she didn't say no, she only said maybe.
Very slick indeed. It was the All-Star Orchestra, a recording made for Victor in the late 1920s. And I think it did feature a few prominent players. I have a feeling that Jimmy Dorsey's on that record. He may have played that sax break in the middle. But yeah, the All-Star Orchestra. I probably need to do my research. I usually have an iPad in front of me and I do quick checks, but I don't have that luxury today because I'm sort of multitasking a bit, checking the needle to make sure that we are still casting, and that's certainly a huge question mark, and also sorting out a few other things as we go. Anyhow, I just pulled a few random records off the 20s shelf, and we have another one, a recording of the other house band from Colombia, same period, or actually a little bit earlier. This goes back to about 1926, 25. It's Sam Lannon and the Singing Somerfors. And we hear some excerpts from the show Sunny. Actually, the name of the track is Who? This is vk3sl, wondering who it is.
You ought to guess who, no one but you.
Sam Lennon and the orchestra on an old Columbia 78 from about 1926. And it's one of those Speed 80 records, so 78 doesn't quite cut it. It would have been a hare's whisker? No, a cat's whisker faster than that. I'm going to flip the disc because I'm interested to hear what the other side sounds like. The vocal group was the Somaphores, and I'm not going to tell you about Sam Lennon. He was the A&R man, the house band leader at Columbia at this time. Made a lot of discs. He was a well-known band leader in the 20s, but we'll flip the record. The other side, I'll hold it up to the mic. What other information can I say other than it is Speed 80? It's Jeremy Kern, and we are actually listening to the band the Apana Troubadours. So yes, the Apana Troubadours with S.C. Lannon director, it says on the label. Serial number 4100. So I reckon we'll slap it on the platter and see what's revealed. vk3sl testing. '20s Fair on 160. This is vk3sl sampling original recordings from the 1920s. Test material, tone tests in fact, on 1868 kilohertz in the narrowband FM mode and streaming online as well. You can go and have a listen if you wish to be entertained. And that is there's a live stream. That's the go-to place. vk3sl is the name of the channel. Just look us up on YouTube and it's all there. All right, well, we've had our little 20s fest and I'm going to cut loose and do a few other things and listen as I'm playing and monitor things very closely because testing on these airs is a very poignant subject at the moment because I have intermittent issues with the antenna, which I do need to monitor really closely. So, that's the way of things. I thought I'd feature something with Maurice Shaw, fiddle player, Australian fiddle player. And Maurice was brought to my attention by Walter, who's a regular listener to these afternoon missions. And Walter knew Maurice Shaw in his other professional capacity as an architect. He had a really distinctive career, but started off playing music and came back to his music after retirement and just did some extraordinary projects exploring some of the beautiful Jewish music, particularly the laments, the duenas. And he is such an incredible communicator. We had a couple of programs devoted to Maurice earlier in the year. Sadly, Maurice passed away a few years ago, and so he's no longer with us. But his wonderful playing endures and is just worth celebrating in every sense. Now, it's a documentary he made about a trip to South America, which I'll play shortly. But before doing that, let's just have a listen to the extraordinary communicative powers of Moshlo, aka Maurice Shaw. This is vk3sl testing. Extraordinary communicative powers. Unbelievable playing. Playing it just touches the heart. It's a duina, a traditional Jewish lament, played by Morris Shaw, known as Moshlo, a Melbourne-born musician who made that recording in Berlin in about 2012. And someone who just really feels the soul of his heritage and just plays with incredible conviction. It's just so moving to witness the playing of Mr. Shaw. Well, what I'll do now is play a documentary about him, and I can give you a background to this. It's called Bittersweet Buenos Aires, and it's the Australian musicians Moshlo and Carla. I'm just going to move the mic up close to the screen so I can read this. Travelled to Buenos Aires to discover the seductive world of the tango and its music. On their journey they have many adventures and misadventures, but with the help of the Argentine musician friends they are initiated into the secrets of the great tradition. It's a film made by Carla Thakra, and we'll have a listen now. Now, I'm not sure, it is quite visual, but I think I'll just encourage people to listen through, because there's also a lot of beautiful music, and I think the story does work quite well without the visual component. So let's sit back and have a listen to Bittersweet Buenos Aires. And this features the music of Morris Shaw, known as Moshlo, on the violin. vk3sl testing.
My name's Moshlo. I was born in Poland, and we came out as migrants many years ago to Australia. I seem to recall somewhere in my memory that whenever my parents had a party, they would play tango music. So when I heard tango again about 8 or 10 years ago, I felt immediately drawn to it. It was as if it was very familiar to me. I understood it. I loved the melodic line, the energy of tango. It spoke to me.
So 5 years ago, we formed our own tango orchestra, Tango Paradiso. We played festivals and concerts around Australia, and of course at Milongas, which are the gatherings where tango is danced socially. But the ultimate dream is to perform in Argentina, the home of tango. For all these years we've dreamt of this. Finally, the dream is coming true. Moshlo and me, the flautist in the band, we're going to Argentina. We seem to spend a lot of time in taxis. Buenos Aires is a city of taxis and people, a huge metropolis of 12 million. They don't all dance tango, but they all have tango in their souls.
Wow, we were going to have a crash then, I think. That was pretty close. The rides on these taxis, just a hair-raising adventure. So hair-raising that I've lost all of my hair in the process. It's like a racetrack. It's better not to look sometimes. You just hope for the best. But the driver's fairly relaxed, and I see he's got a cross hanging off his rear vision mirror. Tango Paradiso arrives in Buenos Aires. This is quite an adventure. We're bringing coals to Newcastle. We're playing tango in style tango.
We're staying in a tango house, and we've very quickly fallen into the routine. Late nights. Late mornings. And practice, practice, practice.
Oh, I've got to do this because everyone's asleep next door, and it's already 11 a.m. and we're not supposed to be making any noise till midday because everyone here, of course, being tango dancers, stay up till 4, 5 in the morning. So here I am practicing like a guitar player.
I'm Carla, the filmmaker and flautist in the band. I must say it's a bit tricky juggling camera and flute. Some moments are impossible, but so far I'm hanging in there. Our first step is to meet Facundo. Facundo's a well-respected tango pianist and arranger here in BA. We first made contact with him over a year ago by email. Since then, he's been sending our band arrangements. He's agreed to play with us and help us organise performances here.
I feel a little apprehensive. I have an image of Facundo, which I've formed, of course, in my head, but I really have no idea if we'll like each other. No, we just have to wait for it to come. Tango Paradiso arrives in Independencia 4029. But as soon as we saw each other, I knew we'd be great friends. Here we are. Welcome. Thank you.
After meeting his delightful family,
And my name is Pedro. My from is Argentina.
we began to get to know each other the best way musicians can, by playing together. A bit rough at first, but Facundo is a musician who has tango in his DNA, and with his help, gradually we too began to understand the heart of this great tradition. Facundo has organised a concert for us, our first, at the Casa del Tango. It's a great honour for us, because this is one of the most highly respected tango music venues in BA. It was a gift by the Japanese government to Osvaldo Pugliese, one of the greatest band leaders and composers in the history of tango.
We're now going off to Facundo's to have our rehearsal. And I'm looking forward to it because it's the last one before our concert. It should be really good fun because we've got all the other members. There's Facundo, and there'll be the cello player and the double bass player. So it'll be the full gang. get into this tiny little room and organize ourselves so that we can all fit together. It's been such a pleasure to learn tango from Facundo and his friends, particularly Fernando Dieguez. He has a deep, deep understanding of tango, and he's been helping me to understand the nuances and the subtleties of phrasing and the feeling of tango. Okay.
It's diminuendo. It's the pepper of the tango.
Fernando has taught me about the contrast in tango, the sharpness of the attack, the gentleness and the lyrical quality of the melodic line. These contrasts are the essential character of tango.
Both ideas are right. Is that tempo right for you? It's more. No afters. No afters. Yeah. In this part.
Well, the day of the concert has finally arrived, and I must say I'm feeling a little apprehensive. Well, in about 3 hours we're going to be playing tonight for the first time in Buenos Aires. I'm feeling a little bit apprehensive, but very confident. I think that once I get on the stage and I hear the music, I'll be completely involved in it. What do you think, Astor? Do you think it's going to work tonight? This will be the special touch. My new vest, which was made for me here.
This is a test transmission of vk3sl.
This was one of those moments when I couldn't manage both the flute and the camera. It was abandoned on a tripod in the middle of the audience.
Un aplauso de bienvenida para Tango Paradiso.
Well, it was fantastic. The audience gave us a standing ovation. And it's given us a great boost of confidence. We're ready for more. And it's happened just the next day.
We've met two of the most established dancers, Diego and Zoraida. Incredibly, they've invited us to perform with them at a major tango festival. We're heading off to our first rehearsal with them. So anyway, what we thought, I mean, if it's going to work for you guys, is this. So we'll play the first part, that's maybe... We'll play very much in rhythm, so in the second part, the very beautiful part here, I can come up, and while you're dancing... As you can see, Diego and I are both bald, and so Zoraida has decided to use this as a foil for her. She's doing a seductive dance between both of us. Diego and Zoraida dance the traditional style of tango, witty and light-hearted. Oh God, I feel so relieved now. I must say it was very, very tense, but it went extraordinarily well. So the performance with Diego and Zoraida went so well, they've invited the whole band this time to play at the famous Confiteria Ideal.
Like so many buildings in Buenos Aires, Ideal has a great past.
Built at the turn of the century as a grand coffee house, it was frequented by the Society of Buenos Aires. Its glory has faded, but it still has a haunting quality about it, particularly at night time, when the chandeliers are ablaze and the floors are crowded with people dancing. We prepare, we set the stage.
Contrabass, si. Cello, si. And you two, forward.
Everything is getting ready for tonight. The sound engineers are here. But something very strange is happening. Even Facundo's puzzled.
We found something.
I checked my Spanish dictionary. Clausurado. Clausura. Closure. Closing. To bring to a close. Couldn't get clearer than that.
Vilket kommer man ut till? Vänta, vi har nu en liten
I can't believe this. This is a real comedy. This has turned into a farce. We come to play DDR, one of the most important fixtures, and suddenly we turn up and the police turn up and say the place is going to be closed. It's just unbelievable. And that's it. It's over before it even started.
I'm sorry. Again, I don't know. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say.
So we just pack up again.
Well, we have to go. Goodbye. And I'm sorry. Yeah. What about tonight? No, it's going to be closed. All day for 3 days. I think it's going to be closed.
Ideal has been closed because of a problem in the kitchen. And here we are, it's a slow motion comedy.
Milonga is over. Se acabó la milonga.
Well, we reach the end of this great adventure. The bittersweet of Buenos Aires. More bitter than sweet right now. But we're inspired by this seductive city with its seductive tango. We leave for home determined to come back to complete the adventure. We've decided to apply for some government funding to record a CD. We'll return home and settle in to the long wait to see if we are one of the lucky ones. Can you believe it? We can't. Not much money, but enough to encourage us on this mad second adventure. We're going to record a CD in Argentina. We fly into Buenos Aires a year later with a mix of excitement and trepidation.
Well, here we are once again in Buenos Aires. Nothing seems to have changed. The same places, same shops, same restaurants, same people. And people recognize you. They remember you, which is wonderful. We've been to some of our old restaurants and they really welcome us back as if we're long lost friends. So it's countdown to this CD because we've only got a few days left. We're going to be recording next Wednesday and Thursday. And we're going to meet our
This is a test transmission from vk3sl.
double bass player, Sergio Rivas. He's a bit of a superstar. And we're playing with our third bandoneonist. The first one became mysteriously ill. The second one decided that the parts were too hard. And now we've got a third one and he seems to be good.
It's fantastic to see Facundo and his family again. Pedro and Agustina are longer, Facundo's hair is shorter. We have a new bass player, and finally, we're playing with a bandoneon. The instrument's synonymous with tango. Facundo had booked 2 bandoneon players before he found Javier, but both found the parts too difficult. It's a notoriously hard instrument to play, and there are very few players in Australia, so we've never had the opportunity to play with one in our band. It's shaky at first. with lots to do and not much time to do it. But there's always time for mate breaks.
Well, we've just had our last rehearsal before the recording tomorrow. I think it went really well. We seemed to get it together with the bandoneonist and it's starting to gel, which is wonderful. I must say I had my doubts at the beginning. Things seemed to be scattered and fragmented, but in a mysterious and magical way it's beginning to fall together. And we've got a 4-hour session from 9 o'clock onwards. So hoping that the studio is going to be all right. When we arrived at Facundo's place, he told me that typically Buenos Aires, there was no electricity, so there were candles everywhere. So who knows whether we're going to have candles tomorrow in the recording studio. Buenos Aires was once a great, great city and a wealthy one. Unfortunately now, all of that splendour is gradually decaying. There are wonderful buildings here, full of ghosts of the past. The paint flakes off the walls, but that creates this multicoloured patina. One has to also remember the terrible pain and suffering of the political past. This is somehow inscribed in the buildings, in the walls. And all of that adds to the poignancy and the intensity of the experience here.
The dance of tango also reflects this pain of the past.
Tango dancing began in Buenos Aires at the turn of the century. The legend is that it started in the brothels of Buenos Aires. At present, it's experiencing one of its great golden periods again. You can go to any part of the world now and dance tango. It's also a very innovative dance. It seems that the younger generation now are trying new things. They're incorporating many styles from contemporary ballet and contemporary dance. Tango seems to be an ever-changing art form.
But here, at the more traditional milongas, they dance the old style of tango. We spend every spare moment here at milongas, dancing. We drive to the first day, with the music playing in our heads.
Where is this man that's playing the double bass? Yeah, ghost somewhere?
nervous, but ready.
Let's make a try. Hacemos una toma, Roberto. Dale.
It was perfect until then.
It's beautiful.
Perfecto. Let's just pick it up.
Cantala.
It continued.
That was shit.
Okay, one more time.
Lots of takes.
Me cogió por sorpresa. Dale.
One more time.
One more time, yeah.
But gradually, magically, the music began.
Going from the beginning again.
From the beginning. Yes, Carla, please.
By the time we started our third tango, everything was working.
This is a test transmission from vk3sl.
That was
That was
mucho
much better.
mejor.
That's it. Let's move on.
The final step before flying home to Australia is to do the mix of the music. We worked late into the nights, and finally we had a completed CD tucked securely into our luggage as we flew home. Our first gig back in Australia, and we feel the spirits of Facundo and his friends helping us play with true tango hearts.
The adventure, which began as a dream, has now become a reality. We've taken a big step and extended the tango embrace from Australia to Buenos Aires.
But we know we'll have to keep returning to reclaim that bit of tango soul left behind in Argentina.
This is vk3sl, and you've been listening to a documentary on Moshlo, that is Morris Shaw, and Tango Paradiso, the ensemble with which he featured with his partner, I think. And can I get some information here, Carla? Yes, they travelled to Buenos Aires to discover the seductive world of tango and its music. So it looked at their remarkable journey. Well, I'm pleased to say the system is holding up, and we'll definitely feature more Moshlo in future missions. There's no doubt about that. We'll seek out some of the CDs and other recordings and feature them. They are completely and utterly beautiful. I can't think of another term. All right then, folks. Well, I think we're at the end of the line today. I don't have. I'm sort of doing stuff inside, so I don't think I can do much else. Oh, look, we do have another light music example. Let's play this. This is from the Dulux show, and it's the name of the work is We'll Win. And it was played at the funeral of Jack Davey, and I think it featured as the music for the Dulux show as well. Anyhow, this performance is with the New Century Orchestra from the Boozy and Hawkes Library. Let's have a listen, and with the usual preamble, the story of light music, courtesy of Mr. Hare. VK3SL testing.
Good morning, everyone. This is the BBC Light programme on wavelengths of 1,500 and 261 metres. It's the first time we've said those words, BBC Light programme, which we hope are going to mean for you now and in the days to come all that is best in radio entertainment from 9 o'clock in the morning to midnight.
have it. The Story of Light Music will win. And that was the New Century Orchestra. Music by Claverdale. And that was the theme to Jack Davies' Dulux show, as I understand it. Well, folks, I think we'll wind it at this point. It's been quite, it's good. I'm feeling relieved that we've hung in this far. I think we had to restart 5 times yesterday. But there was another adjustment I made to the system, and maybe, just maybe, this will endure and mean that we can have reliable missions for a little bit longer. I replaced some capacitors in the antenna box, for the capacitors for the ground system. It's a small chance that one of them was shorting out, but it still doesn't fully explain the jiggling of the antenna issue to reinvigorate, but maybe it created a abnormal SWR, and that sort of kick-started things. So there could be a chain of events. It's very hard to make a full diagnostic take on all of this in view of the fact that it's so intermittent. But that's the thrill of the chase. We'll persevere. It's hung in there today. It's got new spacitors in the tuning box, and the antenna's been realigned. It could be either of those two things that's enabled us to have a problem-free mission. So let's hope that is the norm here on. All right, I better go back to the dinner. This is vk3sl, been testing on 160 and streaming online, and hopefully, all being well, I'll be back tomorrow. I've got a busy day at the coalface at the school, but I should be back in time. Thank you for your indulgence, and see you soon.